Well, good morning, and it's Wednesday morning, December the 16th, 2009. There's about well, roughly 15 more days left in this year, and then we enter a new year, 2010. I don't know if that'll be any great relief to Tijuana or not. They have experienced about well, something over 580 deaths this year as a result of the turf wars going on inside of that city, which have basically caused a desertion of the nightclubs and various other businesses as this violence goes on. Senor Calderon, the president of Mexico, who ordered a crackdown on the drug cartels some years back, is sending his soldiers into these various cities, trying to abate the power of the drug cartels. But this is done very bloodily, and there's a lot of violence, killing, executions, beheadings, etc. Pretty grisly sight for children on their way to school to see bodies lying out in the street with their heads cut off, lying next to them with notes attached to them. No doubt these notes are warnings to people walking by to keep their mouths shut and their eyes closed and don't say anything to anybody about it. Bodies hanging from overpasses and highways and all that kind of thing. It's a pretty grisly affair. In the meantime, in Copenhagen, the climate change conference has sort of like a dreamscape to it. Smiling princes and princesses, and soon the prince and princess of climate change, Al Gore and Daryl Hannah, who are there, are going to uh, be probably lionized for their commitment to saving the world, or so they see it. China isn't in a very good mood about the fact of being checked on for reducing their emissions. The United States will, I'm sure, pay off whoever they have to pay off, or grant whatever they have to grant in order to get a gold star for effort or something. I don't know. Meanwhile, the Nobel Peace Prize laureate will arrive in Copenhagen, despite the fact that he is extending the endless war possibly into Pakistan and who knows, maybe into Iran later on. The war in Afghanistan and Iraq will continue unabated. You can see what's happening in Iraq. The Sunni militia evidently isn't being paid very regularly anymore, so they're attacking the government directly. Think about the fact that if you wanted to apply for Social Security and you showed up at the office, but the office was in smoldering ruins, and half the employees killed, and the rest of them were scared to death, afraid to show up to an alternate location to carry on with their jobs. And even if they could, they'd be so overwhelmed that you'd never be able to get anything done. And so this is the way things are going. Uh, so we concentrate on climate change. That should do it. The main cause for the greenhouse emissions in the meantime will probably go on unabated. The deforestation of the Amazon forests, which are the lungs of the world, which have shown to be the source of most of the problem. But I don't think anything's really going to be done about it. It's the source of tremendous wealth, influence, power, the lumber industry, the grazing fields for cheap cattle to create a source of cheap beef for fast food restaurants, things like that worldwide. Uh, it's all about that. Think about that next time you buy a shirt, buy a hamburger, buy a car. When you're cranking over the engine, getting on your motorcycle and riding down the road, think about whether somebody is being killed, waterboarded, or anything else to prop up the image that there is law and order in the world and that somehow we're fighting the war on terror. I don't know. I don't get it. I shake my head. I'm probably just as insane as this sounds. But I hope someday that, if anything, that the world will wake up to the fact that there is very simple solution to it all. and that is we need to start living in the real world and not the fantasy world that's been created for us for the purpose of getting us to buy stuff. And I'm just as guilty as anybody else. I don't deny that, but I wonder sometimes what can be done. Maybe we should approach it from that point of view. Maybe that's the way we should report the news, in the form of from the fields of real battles, as opposed to the imaginary fields where no real battles are being fought, but only those things that make us feel good.